Alright lads and lassies, we're back down here at our favourite Irish pub, B.D. Riley's in Austin, Texas. I'm here with my good friend Alex and ever-present Julian. How are you boys going?
Doing well.
Doing alright, sir. Doing good. How are you?
Not a bother. Excited to be back down the pub. We're going to talk a little bit about Ipswich, bit of a review on the game. What did you guys think of the first game of the season?
Again, basically what's going on, everything's a bit slow in the first half, trying to get oriented, trying to understand, certain positions. I think it was proper of Arne to sub out Quans for Connacht. That just shows that he is a proper coach. He feels the player, sees the situation. I'm not your friend, I'm not your pal, I'm your coach. And I believe that really did turn the game around. And I think it did set the bar high of expectations. And you could have been, a normal starter, normal substitute in our previous cap, but now we're in Arne's territory, and I'm excited.
I liked his honesty at full time when he gave the interview about that we weren't winning the aerial battles, and he brought Quansah off because he wasn't, and he wasn't the only one, by the way, that was having problems, but brought Quansah off, brought Canate on, and credit. We won the game, kept a clean sheet. It was the right thing to do. It was a very bold move. I think it was something that maybe is a little bit different from him and Klopp. I don't think Klopp would do that necessarily at half time. I think he maybe would have waited.
The 60, 65 minute.
Yeah, maybe. Makes a little bit of difference there, but always good to win. Especially good. First day of the season, away from home, early kickoff, new manager, new coaching staff, new coffee shop. Apparently it's a new coffee shop, but
same old
the training
Salah,
ground, good stuff. And Salah looked well up for it. So happy days, as they say. Well happy.
Yeah, no, it was good. I agree. Yeah, it was difficult enough place to go, as you said, early kickoff. Newly promoted side, hostile environment.
Yeah.
I thought we struggled for large parts of the first half, and then came out in the second half and played much better. Seen some really good performances, notably Salah and Gravenberch. Thought Canate made a difference as well when he came on. So all good.
Let's talk about Gravenberch for a minute, because we know that's we'll get to the number 6 even more later, because it's been a problem for a while. It's been a problem since Fabinho, really, and it's no fucking surprise. I mean, we spoke about it a lot. So is every podcast. So's the manager. So's Klopp. And Gravenberch's second half. First half he was all right as well. I thought there was a couple of moments where he made some really good challenges. Yet they got called as a foul for some reason. The second half, and yes, it was against Ipswich, but it was promising. He did have a very good game. Stronger tests to come, but right now, Gravenberch is the one in that position, and it's up to him to show that, hey, you don't need to spend a ton of money on a player, because the player that we want is right here. So credit to him, because he did really well. Had a great second half.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I understand it's no longer preseason, but we're still evaluating the squad. And, with all these outgoing sales, loan options, releasing some of the salary, funds are there, but what are we going to do with them? This is circling back to the 6 role. Maybe see how he fits in under Arne versus Klopp to see if he can fulfill that. Because you're right. Right now, a lot of 6s are hyperinflated. And what we've said in the past is that, we have one target. That's it. If we don't get it, well, we're SOL. And the fact that, we did not get Zubi, and now we have to kind of focus on the squad at hand, I think the one saving grace in that is due to our depth. We have a lot of depth, a lot of potentially untapped talent where they don't know their specific role yet, and how they played under Klopp might be differently than Arne, shouting out at Bajatek, but he might be going on loan. But I'm excited for that. But at the end of the day, yes, it was Ipswich. Yes, last time we played them, we thrashed them 5-0 or 4-0. Those days are long gone. But now it's what do we do with the squad that we have? And I think Gravenberch can excel in that, but we also have other players that could potentially cycle through that role outside of Endo.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think to go back to your point about the squad, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard it or read it or heard it somewhere. 8 of those lads, that was probably, they had one pre-season game, and that was the week before against Sevilla. You know, so most of them hadn't had much football in 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks. So I think it was promising. It's always good to start with a win. I think it was promising. The one little kind of caveat I'd kind of give on it was I haven't made up my mind. Were we so much better in the second half, or did Ipswich stop a little bit what they were doing really well in the first half and really pressing us higher up that field and really trying to choke us? And I think they got a little bit frightened with a couple of quick passes from Trent in particular in that first half, and they kind of talked about it at half time, and it looks like they sat that yard and a half off us, and that was enough to give our lads the impetus to go and play really, really good expansive football. So I don't know, I haven't made up my mind. I think it's a combination a little bit of both there, and it's going to be really interesting for us moving forward to see, you know, if teams do pin us and really go after us high up that field, how we're going to deal with it.
I'm going to play to the positive, and I think the change at half time, and I think not just the change, but I thought we came out for the second half, went up for it, and I think we forced Ipswich to struggle under the pressure. And I think the quality of our players all over the pitch just really shone through. I thought we were, Trent was unbelievable.
The pass,
give him a contract, sort it out, because he is a unbelievable talent. Tie him to the club, give him a fucking Chelsea contract, give him 7 years or whatever, and tie him down.
10-year deal.
10-year, give him a fucking 15-year deal with a player-manager role, whatever.
But shares the club, the whole lot.
And can keep him at right back, because that is his best position. Right, he will drift inside. We know that. Maybe not so much as last season with the hybrid, but I think this midfielder stuff, I think put it to the side. Keep him at right back. That's where he is best. That's where we look most dangerous. I think it helps Salah out a great deal as well, having him do that. But he was magnificent. I want to shout out Soboslai as well. I thought Soboslai was really good. Right. He was someone that he started really well last season, but then he dropped off. Right. Big time. He wasn't very good for Hungary as well at the Euros. Apparently like a niggling injury, but I thought Soboslai was really good, really impressive, and I'm hoping he has a big season throughout this time. But well happy.
I'm curious though with the Trent statement, and again, props to what you said. I want him to get that contract. I want pen and paper. I mean, I don't know if I'm going all 7-year deal, but at least 4 or 5 minimum. But my fear with that, and I know we have to play a lot of football, is the Bradley. I mean, Bradley was just fire at the end of last season, and he has been able to play a more controlled defensive style play and is not as exposed when Trent does his runs. But with Trent's crosses, his ability to score, his ability to invert under the Klopp formation, it was successful when it worked. And I do not want to see Bradley's talent diminish, because it's all about the minutes you get. Basically, Jota needs a string of games, like when he's healthy and whatnot. When Nunez finds his form, I mean, the fact that we have so much depth at all levels, with the exception of left back, I think that's beneficial, but we need to find a way to balance it out.
I think
with the politics of the signing of the contract, I don't know if we're just going to play Trent into the ground.
I think with the amount of fucking games these players play, and the fact we've sold basically every youth player, and we have the League Cup, we have the expanded Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League. I think Bradley will get plenty of time. And you spoke about it a little bit there, but you need 2 top class players for every single position. Right. Trent is a top class player right back, and potentially Bradley could be one as well, and you want to be careful. And I think it's the perfect situation where you can bring Bradley into certain games, right, where he can come in and he can do a job and he can learn and he can get better, he can improve. Because a lot of times you see where a young player comes in and they play too many games and then they're out injured.
And they're burnt out,
And ideally you want to avoid that. And I think having Bradley and Trent as options as well, to me seems the best fit, and I'd be more than happy. I think those two, and they're different.
Oh, absolutely.
As well, which is ideal. It's a perfect situation at right back. So, but yeah, I guess we'll talk about the transfer stuff at the moment, and we'll talk about the Brentford game after that, as we're talking about all the youngsters seem to be. No, I shouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them out the door. So Bobby Clark, Carvalho,
Sepp
van der Berg. Looks like he's going to be going to Brentford. It was between them and Leverkusen, and it looks like Brentford possibly. We're recording this on Wednesday. Who knows? It might change overnight. But it looks like he's been going to Brentford. 25 million plus 5 million in add-ons. That's an insane amount of money.
Yeah,
I mean, I get Brentford might have a lot of money because of Ivan Toney if that happens, but I'm still surprised they would spend so much on a player that's barely played in England, and he was on loan last season with Mainz. Before that was at Schalke. He's played less than 50 career games. I'm surprised. Hopefully it works out for him.
Right.
But we're letting a lot of players out the door. So, what do you think, Delcros?
Yeah, I think that this is where Mr. Edwards is a genius. This is where I will give him props, and I will say, yeah, he's absolute dynamite in these types of situations where he gets every last bit of value of any sale that we make. Like, if we get 30 million for Sepp van der Berg from Brentford, like, somebody needs to call the police, because like, I just don't understand how that even happens. Add an extra 5 million, they probably could get fucking Gomez. So I just don't understand how that happens. But this is where Michael Edward really excels at this type of stuff. We've seen it before with a few different young fellas that went to Bournemouth. We sold a handful of lads to Bournemouth one year as well, and absolutely fleeced them. It looks like we're doing the same. We're doing the same here to poor old Brentford. And look, as far as the young fella goes, there's a lot of lads pulling their hair out and saying, "Oh, we shouldn't be doing this, we shouldn't be doing that." At the end of the day, any young fella that's been sold or loaned out, it's definitely sold, is probably not going to cut it. Probably not going to make it anyway.
But it shows how cutthroat. Well, not cutthroat, but when even if you're a young player and you're making your debut, you're in the side, you've got to make an impact immediately. You've got to be like Bradley. You've got to be like Kwanzaa. You've got to be like Elliot. Like, you've got to make a difference where not only, are you coming into the side, but you're giving the manager and the coaching staff like, oh, this gets competitive.
Right.
Like Kwanzaa and Bradley did that last season. Elliot did that a couple of seasons
The Carabao
before.
Cup final against Chelsea. I mean, those youth really stepped up and earned a name for themselves. I think that was one of Bradley's greatest performances.
You've got to stand out. Every single minute you were on the pitch matters. And it's you said this earlier, before we started recording, it's very rare that we got it wrong, that we sold a youngster and we got it wrong, and you've got to believe and you've got to trust.
Solanke, 65 mil to Tottenham.
And we got money. We got money.
Yeah, we got a kickback from that.
I think we made close to, if the Sepp deal goes through, then it'll be 75 million we've made from players that barely really played for us. Now, if we sell Morton, which we could easily get 10, 15 million for, if we sell Doak, that's another one. I mean, we could be upwards of 100 million in sales for squad players.
Net spend.
Now let's spend.
Fucking spend it though.
Right. There, sure. Fucking net spend trophy.
Otherwise, we're going to be playing like the fucking League Cup with the majority of our first team because we'll have no other players left. But spend the money, and we've seen Edwards, done this before, where we sell, we build up the funds, and then we bring in players. But I mean, we know we have to buy. We know we need players. We need top class players that provide genuine competition to our first team. So I hope that we have a surprise in the bag in the next week and 3 days for not just a goalkeeper, but a player or two players that are going to challenge and really make us step
This
up
season.
that we can
Not
do.
warning about this season.
Do I genuinely believe that? No.
No, okay, thanks.
But I'm hoping.
Thankfully. I'm hoping too.
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping too.
Yeah.
But I also hope about fucking Margot Robbie as well, but didn't come fucking through, does it? I don't know.
There's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance, there is.
Have a chance.
But no, I just don't get it. Yeah, well, so move on to the more interesting part of incomings. I just don't understand it. I've said it to you, I've said it to a few people a few times. I don't understand what we're doing. I don't understand the all or nothing approach.
Well, we've always done that though.
Well,
that's not a surprise to me. Like we waited 6 months to a year for Virgil, like that, when we were crying out for a centre back.
But we fucking got him.
We did. We did get him.
We've been trying to get a number 6 now for fucking
And I
4
don't
years.
We didn't
disagree.
get
What I'm
Tucci,
saying-
we didn't get Casado, we didn't get Lavia, which is kind of an outlier. We didn't get Bellingham. So what's the backup plan? I understand they're not going to. FSG is not going to release their entire playbook on Reddit or Facebook or Meta. I mean, you got to keep it close-chested, but you do want to at least have some kind of.
I'm just going off what the last 8, 9 years, 10 years they've been there. That's the way they've worked. So it's not surprising. I'm more surprised that we haven't been able to get our first choices over the line, because previously we have been able
Well,
to
especially
do
with the
that.
Zubi.
Right.
It was all out there. Tier 1 journalists, like everyone. I mean, I thought this was like a fakir, pictures were taken, medical was passed, and then all of a sudden, I mean, I know that was a sidebar.
Thank God we didn't sign Fakir, by the way,
What?
because apparently if we had signed Fakir, then we wouldn't have bought Allison.
Yeah, I mean, and
You hear that?
the stars aligned with that, but
So who knows? Maybe Zubimendi, because we didn't sign him, we might sign someone that we don't know who it is at the moment.
Rodri?
But we
That's
knew
gonna
there was
be fucking
something up,
amazing.
though,
Yeah.
But we knew there was
Lothar
something.
Matthäus comes out of retirement and joins us. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know. Like you could tell there was something up. A couple of weeks ago.
Well, it was in public, and that's very surprising for us. We normally keep it very, very quiet.
Exactly.
And boom, it comes out. This, I think.
Well, it
from what
kind
I
of
can
came out of
tell,
nowhere as well.
I think it came out in public mainly because the player wasn't that into it.
Right.
So that's when we were trying to get the feelers out. So hey, this is the best club in the world. Come and join us. And then it went to the press. And
Right.
and all the major journos were talking about it as well. That never normally happens. So anyway, he wasn't interested.
and props to him staying with the Boyhood Club. Like, we were going to double and a half his wages. I mean, we don't know this for a fact, but the contract we were offering was more attractive than what Sociedad can offer. And it just shows, like, I don't want to leave, And he scored, the only goal in their loss 2-1 in their home opener. So, I mean, props to him.
I've no problem with him. Like I said, us as a fan base should understand him more than anybody else. Same as Gerrard, just didn't want to go. Just didn't want to go. Want to play for his club? Cool.
Well, his wife put the foot down.
But
By the sounds of it. So his wife's like,
whatever the case may be, he didn't want to go. I would go back to May when he said when Arsenal came chased and Bayern came chased and somebody else came chased, and then he publicly said, I don't want to fucking play for anybody else. I want to retire at Real Sociedad. Why the fuck did we go?
That's a great question. We had to have feelers or something.
And then people will say, then people will come up with that argument and go, well, surely the club, he gave some indication. Eat bollocks.
Right.
Well, it looks like we have been, in terms of incomings and signing players, over the last 2.5 years, we've been amateurish at best.
extreme. I mean, with the Casado thing as well. What the fuck was that? Even with Romeo Lavea of Southampton. What the hell? How can you? That was amateur.
Right.
As well. Edwards wasn't there. Right now he's back, and we've seen kind of the same thing. Now that might just be because you got Richard Hughes there as well, and it takes a little bit of time. But the fact is, they fucked up. To be blunt, that should never have got to that stage where the player. You should know he's interested and he's ready to come,
right.
And then the negotiations start happening. And it felt like it was a bit of a balls up. But anyway, week and a half. Gomez.
A lot could happen, yeah.
Gomez, it seems, wants to leave, I think, rather than... Well, it looks like we were offering him to Newcastle when we wanted Anthony Gordon a couple of months ago. Apparently Gomez wasn't happy about that. That's what the deal is.
Right.
Gomez now is that,
Who could blame him? I mean, if you're part of a deal, I mean, it shows where he's going to be at. I mean,
but even to go back on that then, so a couple of months ago we were interested in Gordon, and now we're not.
I think that might be. Well, I think that might be more down to Newcastle, like stopping and pulling that plug because they were able to sell and make up the money that they needed to do. I think that probably what happened because there was a stage where they needed to sell one of Isaac or Bruno or Gordon. I don't think they necessarily have to sell now. I think they're kind of at that.
Yeah.
Saying all that, I think if we came back with a very, very good bid, then they would listen to it. But also, I don't think we necessarily need Gordon unless Diaz is leaving.
I was just about to start going and kind of try to draw you out a little bit on that because. So if we're putting out feelers about him, do we need him or do we not need him? Or are we, here I'm going to say something here fairly controversial, I think we're an opportunist shower of fuckers in the transfer market and we go looking for these kind of opportunities a la fucking McAllister.
right.
And we are buying players now rather than need. We're looking at opportunities, business opportunities.
And to play devil's advocate over the past 10 years, we've been very, very good at that as well. We've been very opportunistic.
We weren't opportunists with Alisson. We weren't opportunists with Salah. We weren't opportunists with Virgil van Dijk.
Well, that's, we need these. But you look at the likes of Salah, Andy Robertson, Matip, Milner, like all very, very, very important players. But you have to mix that in with world-class players. This is what your point is. And that's where I feel like we're stumbling a bit. Where we would get like a Salah, we would get Mane, we would get Virgil, we would get Alisson, but then we would surround them with really good squad players. And it feels like at the moment we're not able to get those top draw players over.
We're not willing to go for them.
And that's a problem.
I don't think we're willing to go for them. It's not that we're not
because
getting
of the price.
We're not willing to. We're not willing to go for them.
Well, Zubimendi's, I mean, we went for him. We
He had a
offered
fucking
good money, but he didn't want to go.
40 million quid of a fucking buyout clause or sellout clause or whatever the fuck it was called.
So
again, it's one of these things where we look at it as a club and go, well, we might be able to get him on the fucking cheap. Let's have a fucking go.
Okay.
But it's hard though. Like if you think of. Because to me, I have a must-haves. There's a must-haves, and there'll be a nice to haves as well. Must-haves for me are a number 6,
right,
and a left back.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Number 6, we don't have to talk about it. It's fucking obvious. Left back, Robertson has been injured the past couple of years. Tsimikas ain't great as a backup. They're my must-haves. If we want to challenge, do really well, we need that. Then it comes to the nice to have. Centre back would be nice, right? Now, with Matip leaving, so it leaves us with Virgil, Konate, Kwanzaa, Gomez. Now that flips on its head. If Gomez is sold, then centre back now becomes a fucking must-have.
Correct. Yeah.
And then you move forward, and then you look along the front three. And the nice to have would be someone to give competition for Diaz, which is to Gordon. But if Diaz leaves, and of course he's been talking about Barcelona, there's been a lot of links for Diaz. If Diaz leaves, then that left wing's a must-have as well.
Right.
So it falls upon, to me, number 6, left back, must-haves, centre back, left wing, a must-have if Gomez and Diaz are gone, which I don't think they would go if we didn't have replacements lined up. I don't think we would allow it to happen. But fuck, we need a 6. We do need a 6. It's like obvious, it's clear.
I mean, it's boring now at this point, not even talking about it.
3 years. What was it? I mean, Fabinho left, and we didn't really replace him. And then we got fucking Arthur in, which was ridiculous.
Did he even play a snap?
He played like a forgettable 20 minutes, I think, something like that. Which was a ridiculous deal. Yeah, so it's very messy. It's like it's been And it's been like that for a while.
Right.
It really has. So we just got to hope that something happens. You've got to believe it's going to happen over the next week.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I think we'll.
So this is our squad?
I think it will.
I think so.
Okay.
I think we will get someone in. I'm going to be fucking positive.
Yeah, we'll get some fucking. We'll,
And then load him back out.
You're the Irishman.
we'll,
You know,
we'll,
like,
we'll sign this fella from fucking Valencia, with the goalkeeper, and
Yeah.
we'll leave him over there for a year. No, I think we're going to. This is probably what we'll have, and we'll reassess in January and see where we're at, and then Big Arna will be able to go here. Here, John, I need a few quid here in the summer. I need this, this, and this. That's what it looks like to me. You touched on it before we jumped on here. I think all these outgoings, that 100 million kitty, that'll in or around 100 million kitty that we'll have, is sort of a war chest for the future.
I think it's
When Arna knows exactly what he wants.
Potentially January or next summer?
Probably next summer. I don't think we don't traditionally like that January.
Because it's
window.
hyperinflated.
I think in a way there is a preparation for some
Yeah.
big players potentially leaving next summer, where if you're going to replace them, then you need a shitload of money to get world-class players in. So I think there is an element of that.
Well, the
with what's,
problem
with
is
what's
that-
happening with offloading so many players, and we could get, obviously Morton could go, Doak, we could make easy 110, 120 million this summer from outgoings.
But if we don't do anything with it, if it just sits there,
Well, that's why my suspicion is that
Well, you can get
there's-
8% return on the treasury.
there we
bond.
go. Right.
my suspicion is that they're preparing for next summer, right?
Right.
So they're preparing, which makes business sense.
But
Obviously,
if
from a
you're
football
right-
fan,
but if
it's
you-
like
but if
it's
you're
fucking
right-
annoying because you're
if-
giving up a season, really.
Yeah, but if you're right on that, then we'll still need what we need today,
Plus, I know. Plus,
Yeah.
So that's potentially
gotta
4 players.
There was the mysterious. If that was true, there was the mysterious 100 million we bid for Casado. So
Yeah.
there's that money, which whether it's true or not, that's sitting there as well. But I've got to believe that they're planning big for next summer. That we know that some big names might be
Have to wait
leaving,
till next summer.
and that's my suspicion.
I hope you're right.
And we've done that before, which concerns me. And I hope that what we have with this season, the squad that we have, and I think it is good enough to challenge for a cup and get us, have a good run in the Champions League and get us in the top 4. That's got to be the goal. I don't
so that's
know
our
if
goal.
we
No
would-
cups, just
No. I think you obviously want to go for a cup.
right.
Right, I would hope to have a really good run. I want to fucking win everything, but you've got to
Right.
be realistic. I would hope to have a really good run in the Champions League, win a League Cup or win a FA Cup, and then make sure we get in the top 4 again next season.
When's that
And I
announced
think
on who
that
we're
to
going
me-
to play in this new format?
That to me, with all the changes that we've made, manager, coaching, players, would be a
that'd be a
really
fantastic
successful season.
Fantastic season.
And then
Build-
we
build.
go from there. That to me is realistic.
Maybe Pep would fuck off then as well next summer after
Yeah.
winning 6.
Well, once Man City are
Five or whatever.
relegated, yeah, he'll be gone. Once Chelsea are relegated, he'll gone.
Yeah, it might be a bit handier to win.
Yeah, there we go. So, Brentford.
I was going to say, speaking of the league, Brentford, your old
allegiances
to-
your old alma mater.
Oh, what I mean, let me talk about Griffin Park. Wax lyrical about Brentford's old stadium, sitting there, a pub on every single corner, the only ground in the country that had. Anyway, yeah. So
Do they have a proper pie shop across the street like at Anfield?
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. So Liverpool Brentford,
Yeah, first game of the season at home.
first game of the season at home on Sunday. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your thoughts? Carvalho's going to score, isn't he?
Well,
Say that. It's
no.
Come on, people.
Let's hope. Yeah, well, I mean, when we're 3-0 up, it'll be all right.
Yeah, right.
3-1.
Yeah.
We'll just give them one, make them feel good.
We'll get,
It'll soften a little bit. It'll wax a little bit over the soreness of us fucking getting 27 or 30 million or however fucking much we got from Brentford for
I
Carvalho.
really think he's going to. That is a lot of money. But I really think he's going to do well, though. I think he's a natural goal scorer. I think Brentford will I think they'll suit him in a certain way. Yeah, they'll have to change a little bit of their style to fit him in, but I think the way he plays, the way he scores goals, he knows the area really well. Of course, he was at Fulham.
Yeah.
I think he'll do really well. I think Carvalho will have a really good season for Brentford.
Anyway, enough about Brentford.
Liverpool. So
Liverpool. What you think?
Alex, what do you?
Yeah.
Do you think the same team that ended, or at least started the second half?
Yeah,
I mean, ideally, I would like to see 45 minutes both from Gapco and Nunez before the United match because of just their form in the Euros. They had a proper rest. And I mean, they were just hitting their numbers. I'm sorry, Euros and Copa. They were just hitting their stride, hitting their numbers. And I want to refine that form, but obviously, like what we saw in the Euros, Gapco is playing in the DS position, and Nunez is playing where Jota's playing. And we don't play the same style Uruguay plays at Pool. But I would like to see those two lads. I mean, maybe 45 is a bit too much. But I mean, we played well. We scored. We won. After that halftime pep talk, we're completely different beasts coming out. But I mean, while right now the next game we need to focus on is Brentford, just United away, third match, new coach, figuring ourselves out. I do want to see those two players get some minutes and not just kind of rush it during the United match. But same mids.
I think I reckon he will start the same team that started the second half against Ipswich.
Okay.
I think you're at home, you won the first game, get off to a really good start. What really helps with getting off to a good start is keeping the same lineup. And I see no reason to change
Disrupt that? Okay.
I think you'll keep that. I think Kanai will definitely start. I think Brentford are pretty physical. Ivan Toney was obviously not involved in the first game for Brentford.
Is he?
But he might be involved in this one. If
Was he
nothing
injured or
happens,
what?
he might. No, he's not injured. He was left out because of the links to Saudi.
Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
I saw Arsenal and Chelsea as well.
But if you're Ivan Toney and you want a big move, fuck yeah, you want to start at Anfield against Liverpool, second game of the season, and so there might be potentially. But even if he doesn't start, I still think he'll start Konate because Brentford are extremely physical. But to me, it makes complete sense to keep that same side.
Yeah, I think it does. Even in terms of minutes.
Yeah.
Because for them it's basically pre-season.
Right.
So they need as much football now. They need as much football now as they can get in order to get sharp, get fit. So yeah, I agree. Although part of me thinks that he might give Kwanzaa another go. You just wonder. You would wonder. He was pretty ruthless. Take him off after 45 minutes. I felt like the words kind of he used were nearly a little bit harsh. They were very. It was kind of hard for a young fella. I felt it was a bit hard to kind of go public like that.
You could look at that in another way as well, though. If he does put Kwanzaa back in,
Yeah, so I wonder.
and then he has a bad first half, then it's like.
Well, but then you can. Then I would.
Look who it is.
I just wonder, just in terms of confidence and what it could do to him. Maybe give him another go.
Yeah.
Start with Kwanzaa. So
Maybe.
I think he may start the same starting 11 that started actually at home.
So you think?
I think Kwanzaa might get the nod.
Konate. Okay.
Might get the nod in front of Konate, but I think if it wasn't to go according to plan, then I think then, like I said prior to the season, I felt like that place was up for grabs alongside Virgil. I think if Konate comes in and puts in another really good performance, I think then it's Konate's to lose then again.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe I have a soft spot for. I really like the chap.
No, he's
a fucking
fantastic.
brilliant player.
But Kwanzaa is young. He's going to
yeah.
make mistakes.
It could be my heart ruling my head here.
It takes time, and I think it's almost like with the Bradley thing. You don't want to. These young players, you've got to be fucking careful with them.
Yeah.
You've got to take your time because so many young players come in and get injured, and you don't see them for a year. It happens all the time. So, okay. So okay. And while we're doing this, we're recording this on Wednesday, so
and could happen.
who knows who's gonna get
Jonathan
injured?
will get injured.
Right.
Yeah, by the time it happens.
I know.
But I think the rest of the pitch kind of takes care of itself, right? Gravenberch, Maka,
Big game for Gravenberch this as well.
Yeah.
Can he do what he did
Second half.
against Ipswich. Is he like the real deal? Is he someone that can be that player? And it's another great chance for him against Brentford to see that, to see if
Yeah, we don't need a 6.
we have the player right here. So it's a
Bertie.
good opportunity. Good opportunity for him.
And then Salah, Jota,
Diaz.
Diaz.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that right now that picks itself.
Yeah.
How do you see the second game going?
How do I see
The game kind of panning out. You think we'll?
Yeah, I think we have it. I think similar. I think Brentford will be more physical than Ipswich. I think it'll be fairly similar. I think we will win. It'll be difficult at times, but I think by the end, I think we'll have too much quality all over the pitch, and I think we'll probably win 3-1. Carvalho is bound to score, like I said, so I'm going to say 3-1, maybe a 4-1 to Liverpool.
I'll go 2-0.
2-0.
I think 2-0. I think we'll hold the line, and we'll have 2 fantastic goals, no PKs.
Yeah. And you're kind of maybe worried about in terms of like how Brentford might get at us or anything like that, or you think we'll just be too strong?
Oh, I mean, no, they're going to shove it down our throats. I think it's going to be high octane first 20, 30 minutes. And that's where I think Gravenberch will step up. We'll have like that back line with our mids kind of playing that reinforcement role and hit him with the counter like we did last week. Like Salah, I mean, he's just fast as fuck right now. And I mean, him. I don't know what diet him and Ronaldo are on. They're aging backwards. And then with Jota, as much as I love him, and maybe it's last season due to injuries, I still think he's best coming on the 60th minute. And I mean, I think he's our super sub, and that's also selfishly, I want to see Nunez flourish. We spent big money on him. Klopp, purchased him for a reason against all odds, and I want to see him excel, but also I want to see Jota thrive as well. I love the lad.
I want Jota.
I'll
disagree. I want Jota to start.
Touche, sir. Touche.
Because he's the best striker at the club, best natural finisher. Him and Salah. I think Jota is magnificent. It's a shame he gets injured.
But I love having this problem. I love having to pick between those two.
I think it'll be
Jota every single day of the week.
over Nunez.
100%. Yeah, it's not even a question.
I think they're both. To me, they're both pretty similar in terms of. I kind of agree with Alex. I kind of prefer Jota coming off the bench. I think we get more bang for our buck with him when he comes off the bench and when he starts.
When he starts, he always scores. He scores when he plays.
That said,
he always scores. He plays. He's brilliant. He's the most natural. He starts.
That said, I think
Nunez
he'll score
might be
first
better
on
off the bench.
Saturday. I think he'll score first on Saturday.
Really? All right.
I think Salah will get another. I think the two of them will score again, and I think it'll be 2-1.
2-1.
I think we'll win 2-1.
2-1. Who's going to score for Brentford?
We'll give your man Ivan Toney a goal. I think he'll get a penalty. I think he'll score a penalty.
By the way, if you're wondering why Alex is making like some really funny facial expressions, it's because our good friend John just showed up. Come over. How are you doing? Yeah, come right here. So, Alex.
Cheers, bro.
Come right here, because it's where I get you. You might have to zoom down. Alex.
Yeah, because we'll only see half of you.
This is John. He's a wrestler. He's been on the pod before, so. Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing? You good?
I'm good.
It's a party now.
It's a party. What have you been up
I'm
to?
doing physical therapy.
Oh, you still working on the...
Maybe. Yeah. But other than that, I'm cool.
Getting better?
Yeah, for sure.
And you're back when? October, you think?
October 26th.
October 26th.
Yeah, October 26th.
Good times.
Love it.
There you go, Alex. See? Topo Chico, never mind. We always like to chuck a beer or a water on the show.
We got to get
bottles are unbreakable.
It didn't... Did it break?
No, it bounced. Remember the other night? It bounced up.
It bounced
when
again.
you fucking caught it.
You know the one... When... If we were to do this on purpose, it would probably break.
It would break.
But when you do it accidentally, it bounces.
Retake, redo.
It bounces back. It's kind of brilliant. So, yeah. All right.
That's it.
Wrap it up, Delcros.
Wrap it up. Right. Lads, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, get on Instagram, like that fucking page. Comment below. Tell us if we're talking crap. Tell us if you like it.
Score
predictions, lineup predictions, incoming transfer predictions, whatever it is. Just get on there, chatter. Other than that, God bless, and we'll see you next week.